Hi, welcome to the Online Jewelry Academy. I'm John Ahr and I'm your instructor. Today I'm going to show you how to make these spooky Halloween inspired spiderweb earrings. Now they're great for Halloween, but some of you guys probably want to wear these year round. They're super easy to make and I've got everything laid out to show you how it's done. Now, first of all, it's going to take about 3 feet of 20 gauge sterling silver wire to produce these earrings. For each earring, what you're going to need to cut are 4 2-inch lengths of wire and 1 foot length of wire. Now, I've already laid out the pattern here, but let me show you how you bend these things. The smaller rays of the spider web are made by putting your round nose pliers at the middle of one of these segments of wire and then just giving it a quick bend up like that to turn it into a point. So you just do that with all 4 of them and lay them out point to point like so, and this will give you the 8 spines or rays of the spider web. Now, I'm going to fuse these together, so I'm not going to make sure that they're perfect just yet because I still need to cover them with flux. Now, to make the actual web, all it is a simple spiral. The easiest way to make the spiral is to take your 1 foot length of wire and with a pair of flat nose pliers, grab one end, bend it out. You might want to pull on it just to straighten out the wire. And then what you want to do is just curl the wire around itself like so. And you can see how it quickly just wants to turn into a spiral. Now, if you want to make these look particularly spooky, I recommend that you make kind of a sloppy spiral, because the more jagged and disorganized it looks, the more it looks like it's an old spider web in a haunted house. Okay, so you're just going to keep looping around, and at some point you can let go of the pliers and just start pulling the wire with your fingertips around. And you can see this one here, I've made it really jagged and edgy. Okay, now once you have all of your elements completed, what you need to do is you need to coat them with flux. And I'm going to use a white paste flux, and you can go ahead and dip your brush right in, and basically all you want to do is just paint the pieces with flux and position them in the proper area so that they join together. Now, like I said, we're going to fuse them together. So what that is it's a controlled melting of the material. So I'm going to use a full blast of the torch to get enough heat to basically melt the outside surface of the material so that when I pull the flame away, the melted surfaces of the wires will attach to one another. But be careful, it's very thin material. It's easy to go too far and end up with a puddle. Now, if you break through the material here and there with little melts of, let's say, the spider web like I did in my example, it actually looks kind of cool. So don't be a perfectionist with this project. Allow it to go on its own in a more organic way. I think you'll end up with a cooler project if you do. Okay, so I'm liberally applying flux to the surfaces of the wire. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got my rays completely coated. You can see this is a really fast project. Okay, once everything's coated with flux, all we need to do is just place the web right on top. Now, if you've watched all of our other videos, there's another video on how to make fused pendants from scrap. This is essentially the same process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the torch and give it a quick click to turn it on, and I'll heat it back and forth, bouncing the flame. And watch, and you'll see how some of the material starts to get glossy, and when I pull the flame away, it gets matte again. Okay, here we go. Now, while we're fusing, these are going to oxidize and get dirty. Now, you might like that, but if you want them clean, check out our video on pickling and another video that we have on tumbling, and that'll make them nice and bright. If you change your mind, check out our video on liver of sulfur and you can put them back to black. Okay, so everything at this point should be fused together. You can see how the wire kind of collapsed on itself, and in some places you can see where I actually melted the wire and it pulled back on itself, almost as if the web had broken. And in other areas you can see where the wire got a little bit thinner. It makes for a great effect. Okay, once this is cool, we want to pull it up off the surface of the charcoal block and pickle it. Now, you can also bend one end to accommodate the ear wire, and you can, if you want to, you can melt the ends of the rays so that they don't stick out and point so much. Or you could hit them with a cut burr. Let me let this cool off and I'll show you how to turn it into an earring. Okay, I took this piece to the sink actually and quenched it under the sink in order to loosen it from the charcoal block. I didn't have a bowl big enough to just stick it in, so I ran it under the running water of the tap. So now it comes up really easily. So what I want to do next is decide how I want it to hang. I think it looks kind of cool like this, so I'll make this the point at which the ear wire attaches. Now it's super easy to do, and I'm going to put on my safety glasses with their little bifocals so that I can see a little bit better to make this loop. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch close to the web and just give it a little bit of a bend to take it off center. Then what I do is I'll grab the tip of this ray inside of the plier somewhere towards the middle and start to roll the plier toward the web. Just like that. That's all I need to do to make the attachment. Okay, now I personally think that these things should have a nice bald end on each ray, otherwise they're going to poke the wearer in the neck, or they'll tangle the hair up. So I'm going to bring back my torch, light it, and I'll just focus the heat just on the ends of the rays. There. Okay. Now, I should quench this because it's very hot. I don't want to work with it just yet, but I'll let it air cool for right now so that I can show you how to start to make the ear wire for it. Now, in another previous video about beaded earrings, I've shown you already how to make these ear wires, but it's always good to review. And in another video, I also explained how to mark your round nose pliers so that you can use them more effectively to make very consistent loops. So the first thing you want to do is grab the wire about 3/4 of an inch from the end and give it a pull. Now as you do this, turn with your other hand and slip around until you make a complete loop. In other words, you want to have a loop of the wire with the wire running flat. Next, pinch where the wire touches itself and pull up to make capital letter L riding a unicycle. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to open this ring at the end. You just want to separate it. So right now it's closed like this. You want to open it up like this. Okay, so what I can do is I can pass it through the earring. I'll take it off the tweezers and it's cool now. And I just want to pinch where the loop is at the top and take the small end of the wire and run it around the large end of the wire. Now you can run it around 1, 2, or 3 times. I generally like it 3 times. And the reason why I like this is because it sort of programs this ear wire to stay on this earring forever. If you have a little bit of excess, all you need to do is take your diagonal cutters and nip it off, and you can take your other pliers and just press it down. Then what you want to do is let the earring hang with the front of the earring facing away from you. Then grab up at the top of the coil, give a little pinch, pull the wire straight down, change the position of your pliers so that they're basically in a vertical position, and then take the wire and bring it up and pull it back towards you. And you can see that it begins to start to form a French ear wire. Now, of course, it's a little distorted here, but all I have to do is give it a couple of tweaks, and voila, I have a perfect French ear wire at the top of my earring, making it ready to wear. Have fun making spider web earrings. Check out our other videos and products on the onlinejewelryacademy.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.